So the Duality is here and is an Exotic Slug Shotgun. Naturally, comparisons will be made to the Chaperone. Now, you guys have been asking me, Duality or the Chaperone, which is better? Which do you prefer? Well, in this video, we're going to answer your question. Now, of course, with them both being Exotic Slug Shotguns, they seemingly on the surface have a lot in common. However, when you actually take it and test out the ranges of the two guns and the way they behave, you'll realize that they are actually very different to one another. You can see the stats here up on the screen. Chaperone has a bit more aim assist, they have the same handling, and Chaperone has 4 more range. But that range stat is very misleading because it means absolutely nothing. So you can see here the Duality range, we tested it in a private match, and the furthest I could kill was 11 meters. And with hip fire, the furthest we could kill is 7 meters. Now with the catalyst or without, this range seems to be exactly the same. I covered this obviously in an earlier video going over the catalyst, and it was kind of disappointing. Chaperone, on the other hand, as you can see, kills at 13 meters. That's without Roadborne, and with Roadborne it kills at a whopping 16 meters. So Chaperone essentially at its maximum output has 6 meters of range on the Duality. But the thing that the Chaperone can't do that the Duality can is of course kill with hip fire shots. This is something completely unique to the Duality, and this map right here, Anomaly, that we're playing on in this game, is actually a perfect example of where I think Duality is actually better than the Chaperone. I think on extreme close quarters maps like this, where there are so many corners and so many tight corridors, Duality is actually maybe better on a map like this. Not to say that Anomaly is a bad map for the Chaperone. I've typically always done well on this map with Chaperone, but I've also had difficulties facing very good shotgunners who are using a buckshot shotgun, say like Felwinter's Light, and they're playing corners and stuff like that. It can be quite difficult. Duality, you don't really need to give a damn. Granted, Felwinter's Light has a consistent one-hit kill range of around 8 to 9 meters, and probably hip-fire kills a little bit further out than the Duality does, but of course, as we know, buckshot shotguns are very RNG. If you get close enough though, the Duality will kill them with hip-fire. I do struggle sometimes with the hip-fire on the gun. It seems to be a little bit erratic, but again, we can put that down to pellet spread RNG. Now, if you're going to ask me, you're in the most important match of your life, what weapon would you use, Duality or the Chaperone? I would probably say the Chaperone, because if you're going to use a slug shotgun, then the absolute master of slugs will always be the Chaperone. As we showed earlier, the range difference can go up to 6 meters with this thing. But there you saw that little collat with a hip fire. You're never going to do that with the Chaperone, because Chaperone is headshots only. Granted, the Chaperone does do 150 damage to the body from a considerable distance, so when you weaken someone even slightly, you'll be able to map them with body shots. So it's not like you're never going to get body shot kills with Chaperone, but when someone just runs up in your face at full health, you're going to have to shotgun melee them, or somehow squeeze out a headshot in a very uncomfortable, very close quarters engagement. So you've got to work out how you're going to approach engagements. Duality allows you as a slug shotgun user to be far more reckless, I would say, than you could be with the Chaperone. If you're going to use Chaperone competently, you're going to want to be precise with your positioning and your approach. Duality, not necessarily. You can kind of just run in there and just start swinging for defenses, and I'm really enjoying it. Now, we did a video on the catalyst, and obviously I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Yes, the catalyst doesn't seemingly do anything for one-hit kill range, but if you look at the perk, the trait, and the masterwork giving you +2 to magazine, I think the main use for this weapon, it seems from Bungie, was for PvE. But with it being a slug shotty, it has its unique niche strengths in Crucible. Obviously, this weapon is, if you were to ask me what would I do to make the Duality better, well, I think I would give it another meter or 2 range, and also I would make it so that when you get those hip fire kills, it actually adds range to your one-hit kill potential. So say for example the base one-hit kill range was 11 or 12 meters, say 12 meters base kill range, and then you hip fire someone, well, now you can kill someone at 14 meters. Obviously this perk stacks, I think up to 3, 4, 5 times, and the chances of you lining up 3 or 4 hip fire shotgun kills in a row is going to be pretty slim of making that actually happen. But still, we managed to drop 50 defeats in this match. The Duality, I'm a huge fan of it, but it's you're talking about slug shotgunning people at absurd distances and completely controlling your engagement. Chaperone is still the king. You're never going to kill someone with a Duality from there. I just hit that guy for like 300 damage. If I shot him with the Duality from there with a headshot, I'd be lucky to do 40 damage. They're operating in different planes of existence when it comes to range. They really are. Now, I had a lot of comments yesterday on Twitter in particular when I tweeted out that the catalyst didn't add anything to the one-hit kill range, and a lot of people tweeted me saying, well, slugs have a capped base range. Well, that was true of the the legendary slug shotguns, the Suros ones and the Blasphemer. Yes, their range was capped at 10 meters. So if you had max range or not max range, it was always going to kill at 10 meters. And the only thing that would boost the one-hit kill range was opening shot. But I thought it would be a pretty safe assumption to accept that Duality would not, adhere to that sort of set in stone range cap because it's an exotic slug shotgun like the Chaperone. Now, is there a possibility that the Duality under the hood is a legendary Suros slug shotgun? Maybe, and maybe that's why it behaves the way that it does. Is it a bug? I'm not sure. I don't think it's a bug the way the range works with Duality. I just think it's designed for PvE. Getting hipfire kills stacks their precision damage, not necessarily the one-hit kill range, but obviously more damage should equal more range. But I think that the stack bonus is very minimal. To see the most optimal results, you'd probably want to get 3, 4, 5 hipfire kills, and then you would know exactly how far it could kill. But I didn't bother testing that because there's no point in Crucible. Realistically, you might hipfire 1, maybe 2 players, and then you're going to have to go for a headshot to take advantage of that perk before it disappears. It only lasts, I think, 6-7 seconds probably, the perk on the Duality. So yeah, I didn't really bother. I could have gotten 3 or 4 people to come in a private match and hipfire 1, 2, 3 and then go for a headshot. But I just have a feeling that no matter what, how many stacks you have, you're not going to get any more range. You will get more damage within that range cap though. So maybe if you hipfired 3 guys in a row, you might be able to one-hit kill a super or something. Not really sure. Maybe we'll look at that in a future video. But for now, guys, I think we're going to be calling it here for this video. My overall opinion, Chaperone is still the king when it comes to slug shotguns. But Duality is an entirely different beast and a very unique and cool weapon that I will continue to use because it satisfies me. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.